Today, Netflix operates across 190 countries, serves 270 million subscribers, and holds a valuation north of $200 billion. But in 1997, it was a physical DVD by mail operation, born out of a frustration with Blockbuster's late fees. The true catalyst for their global expansion arrived in 2007. The company made the calculated decision to introduce video-on-demand streaming over the internet. Delivering high-quality video to millions of screens simultaneously requires moving massive amounts of data. Routing all that traffic through standard internet pipes threatened to bottleneck local networks and ruin playback. To actually make streaming work, Netflix had to stop operating like a traditional media distributor. They needed to build out the physical infrastructure of a heavy tech giant. They divided the problem into two halves. The front end lives entirely on Amazon Web Services.
When you open the app, log in, or browse the menus, you're interacting with over 1,000 isolated microservices hosted by AWS, but the actual video files do not come from Amazon. To solve the data delivery problem, they built a proprietary back-end system known as the Netflix Open Connect Network. Netflix bypasses the public internet entirely, installing purpose-built storage servers, Open Connect appliances, directly inside your local internet service provider. When you hit play, the AWS steering service analyzes your network and generates a specific URL, directing your device to the closest Open Connect server. By the time later rivals entered the market, Netflix already had thousands of these appliances installed within ISP facilities globally. Matching that physical footprint would require new competitors to spend years negotiating direct peering agreements and billion-dollar investments to build their own hardware fleets. Eventually, legacy media empires recognized the threat. Companies like Disney and NBC Universal began pulling highly watched library hits, shows like The Office, to stock their own competing streaming platforms. Stripped of third-party catalogs, Netflix responded by financing its own content. Starting with House of Cards in 2013, the company ramped up spending, eventually committing $18 billion annually to build an exclusive moat of original series and films. This chart compares audience demand for Netflix originals versus licensed content in 2024. Despite spending billions on in-house production, a massive 87.7% of all audience demand on the platform is driven by rented legacy programming, with originals accounting for just 12.3%. Instead of bearing the full production risk for every title, Netflix adapted a just-in-time licensing model. They acquire rights to proven hits on rolling windows, paying only for the legacy content that reliably draws viewers. Securing market dominance requires a careful financial balance. High-budget originals build the brand's prestige, while licensed shows do the cost-effective heavy lifting of keeping subscribers watching for hours on end. To manage this massive hybrid library, Netflix relies on advanced machine learning algorithms powered by foundation models. These algorithms analyze viewing habits, pause rates, and click behaviors to construct a hyper-personalized homepage. The system actively matches the company's $18 billion content investment with the exact demographic most likely to watch it. The objective is mathematically eliminating browse time and dropping you straight into the next show. This creates a continuous viewing loop that directly prevents the user from canceling their subscription. By the early 2020s, the domestic streaming market hit a wall. With content costs climbing and new signups stalling out in North America, the company had to extract more revenue from the users they already had. They initiated a strict global crackdown on password sharing, converting millions of unpaid, borrowed accounts into active paying customers. The enforcement yielded immediate results. Netflix added a record 18.91 million subscribers in the fourth quarter of 2024, pushing profits past the $2.3 billion mark in early 2024. Concurrently, they rolled out ad-supported subscription tiers. In price-sensitive, mobile-first economies like India, they introduced low-cost mobile-only plans to capture users who would never pay standard Western rates. In Latin America, they formed strategic distribution alliances, bundling Netflix subscriptions directly into established networks like Mercado Libre's e-commerce loyalty program. The modern playbook is highly pragmatic. They extract maximum revenue from mature, saturated markets while radically localizing their access models to lock down developing economies. To maintain their lead, the platform is expanding beyond pre-recorded video.
securing rights to live broadcasting, sporting events, and interactive gaming. 25 years ago, Netflix mailed physical discs with the explicit goal of dismantling the rigid structure of traditional cable and rental stores. To dominate the future, they have effectively rebuilt the traditional television model, complete with advertisements and scheduled live events, but supercharged it atop a private network that handles 100% of their video traffic.